Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm presenting a storytelling and content marketing vignette for Whendez Commercial Contractors. Instead of approaching this as a standard company overview, this presentation focuses on how Whendez can use storytelling and visual content to connect with customers more effectively. The main idea is that Wendez does not just build or renovate spaces, it helps transform frustrating property problems into functional, credible, and more valuable environments. This story begins with a problem the customer can see and feel. The space is not working the way it should. Maybe the property feels outdated, inaccessible, inefficient, or misaligned with the business it's supposed to support. This matters because Wendez is not selling construction in the abstract. It is responding to real world frustration that property owners and decision makers are already experiencing. What makes this important from a marketing perspective is that the customer's problem is not only physical, it is emotional and practical. A poor space can lead to frustration, embarrassment, missed opportunity, and uncertainty. The property owner may know something needs to change, but may not know how to begin, how much it will cost, or who can be trusted to do it right. Now, this is where the stakes become clear. A space that falls behind can hurt customer impression, accessibility, usability, and even the credibility of the business itself. In some cases, the issue is just not pure aesthetics. It may affect whether the property feels welcoming, functional, or compliant. That give Wendez an important role because the company is not only improving buildings, it is helping protect businesses' value and confidence. Once the customer accepts that change is needed, the search begins. At this point, they are not only comparing prices, they are looking for trust, proof, and competence. They want to know who can actually solve their problem, whether that contractor has done this kind of work before, and whether the result will justify their major investment. This is exactly where storytelling and content become very important. Now, this is where Wendez Commercial Contractors enter the story. The company's role is not just to repair or update space, but to transform it with purpose. What makes Wendez valuable is its focus on specialized renovation work, including ADA accessibility, commercial improvements, and solutions that make spaces more useful and credible. This is why the message should center on valuable transformation and not just basic service descriptions. This is the heart of the content strategy. Wendez has the chance through market transformation stories. The strongest content is not just a finished photo, it is a contrast between before and after. It shows what the problem was, what changed, and why the result matters. This kind of content helps customers see proof, understand value, and imagine what Wendez could do for their own property. My first recommendation is that Wendez should build a transformation based content strategy. This means using before and after stories, accessibility upgrades, walkthroughs, and project narratives to show how problems are solved. The reason this works is simple. Construction is visual, and customers trust visual proof. Strong content should help people see the challenge, the process, and then the final result. My second recommendation is to use storytelling so the brand becomes more memorable and persuasive. Instead of simply posting finished work with captions, Wendez should tell the story behind the project. What was the original problem? Why did it matter? What changed? And what was the final payoff for the customer? This makes the brand more human, more engaging, and more effective at building trust. To conclude, Wendez is strongest when it is marketed not only as a contractor, but as a transformation partner. The story begins with a space that is no longer working and a customer who needs clarity and confidence. Whendez then becomes the company that turns the problem into a purposeful, functional, and more credible space. That is the story worth marketing, and it is what makes this content strategy so powerful. Thank you for listening.